welcome to the Play Skillfully podcast. I am so glad you're here. This is episode 2 of season 5. So this year on the podcast, I want to do something for you. I want to talk about all things the curriculum. If you use our curriculum, I want to help you by walking you through ideas. How do you set up your classroom? How do you keep everything organized? We've done some of this over the years, but I thought this season, this is all we're going to talk about. A year of playing skillfully, because I want you to feel supported. I know that was important to me as a new homeschool mom, and I'm sure it is important to you. So, episode 1, you might have heard Marianne Cole. You might not have listened to that yet, but you might realize Marianne is someone we recommend in the curriculum. Her book, Global Art, is one of the things we recommend to you as an additional use if you are interested in a lot of art processes, or your kids are. We are all about the process art. So we had Marianne on episode 1. Episode 2, today, is going to be an episode where we talk about our character trait. Every month, we have a character trait. Why do we do that? Because we know a child's character is developed within the first 7 years of life. Isn't that crazy? The first 7 years of life. So we want to be intentional about the character traits, I should say. So this month is all about wonder. Now, if you have heard me talk in person, you've heard the word wonder before, because I'm all about it. I think it's one of the most important things we can develop in a young child. One of my favorite things to say, the 3 elements of learning for young children, in my opinion: discovery, experience, and wonder. So, what is that? Discovery? Think about it. We need to give kids a chance to discover the information for themselves. Don't tell them everything. Don't Google everything for them. Let them discover it. For example, if you're trying to teach colors, maybe you do the color mixing activity that we had. You give them some different colors. You give them blue, you give them yellow, you give them red. And you let them discover what happens when they mix those colors. Now, we all know if they mix all the colors, what will they discover? It makes gray, brown, black, all those things. But if they begin to tinker and explore and experience, they will figure out things like blue and yellow. What does that make? Green. And then if we want to get like turquoise, we could add a little white or a little clear water in there. Do that, or a little white. And we can get turquoise. So you let them discover these things, and then that sticks in their brain, and they get that wonder about it. They get that excitement, that enthusiasm about that discovery, and that helps them want to learn more. Secondly, experience. What about experience? We want to give kids the chance to experience the world for themselves. Experience items, experience your home, experience connection, all for themselves. If you're in the kitchen, they can watch you make the eggs, or they can experience you making the eggs. That experience and learning through experience will stay with you forever. And if you're a person who learns, like you say, oh, my hand's on, I got to do it myself. That's me. And that's most kids. They've got to do it for themselves before it sticks in the brain. That's why we say, if it hasn't been in the hand, it can't be in the brain. So much of that is because of experience and the importance of experience. I had that just this morning. I was heading out to get my daughter a tea. She was studying for an exam. I'm here in Starkville, Mississippi, where she goes to school, and my younger son goes to school. She wanted tea. We had gone to the tea shop a couple of days ago, but she was directing me. I wasn't really paying attention. I was turning where she said. So this morning, got in the car, didn't turn on the maps, thought, I know where it is. Guess what? Took a wrong turn. I did know where it was because I didn't really do it myself the first time. So I put it in my Waze, and then I paid attention. I'm like, oh, wait. Okay, I didn't take the first exit the other day. I took the second exit. That's where I made the mistake. So now I know. You take the second exit, you turn right. That gets you straight to the tea shop. It's the same with kids. They need to experience it for themselves. So don't let them watch and be bystanders. Get them involved. Let them do the things with you. And then lastly, the one we're going to focus on today is wonder. Man, wonder. Even just saying it, I get all goosebumps, and it calms the nervous system. Just hearing wonder. Why wonder? Y'all, wonder is that. Wonder inspires. Wonder cultivates creativity. Wonder ignites imagination. Wonder calms the nervous system. Wonder is all of that. Wonder really is, I think, the thing that inspires us to want to learn more. Wonder is the thing that encourages us to dig deeper. And so for you, as the parent trying to teach wonder, I want to help you with that. How does one teach wonder? How does one develop that character trait? The first thing you need to do is you need to give them time. Wonder takes time. If you come across a puddle on the ground and a rainbow pops up, the sun is shining, and you see that, and your child sees that, and they want to stop and look, but you're walking through to your car, and they're like, Mom, and you're dragging them by the arm. Well, there's not a lot of wonder that's going to happen. But if you pause and say, oh my goodness, let's look at that. How did that get there? Where did that come from? What's going to happen next? Where will that go when it leaves here? That gives them time to have that aha, that appreciation for what they're seeing. That's wonder. Wonder also takes permission. You got to give your kids permission to explore it and to figure it out and to have a sense of wonder about it. Let's say they discover a butterfly lying on the ground as they're walking by, and that butterfly is dead, but they want to explore it anyway, and they want to go over there and pick it up, and you're like, no, we have to go. We're not touching the dead. Leave the butterfly there. But instead, you say, wow, let's go check that out. Let's respectfully go look at that. Let's gently pick that up. Would you like to take that home? We could take that home and discover more and, ask good questions. Why do you think the butterfly was dead? It didn't look injured. Why do you think it was like that? Where did that butterfly come from? What kind of butterfly is it? What do you think the butterfly was doing before they died? Then you could take it a step further, not only give them permission just to, explore the butterfly. Maybe you say, why don't we write a story about it? What we thought the butterfly's life was. You know what that does? Sparks imagination. Man, kids are imaginative. They're born to imagine. They're born with a sense of wonder. But you've got to keep that going. So you say, let's grab some paper and let's write down a story about the butterfly. Where do you think the butterfly went? Who do you think the butterfly met on his journey? Where did the butterflies, how did they start? How did their life start? I wonder what they ate along the way, the very hungry caterpillar. And you make a book about it. So now this wonder has turned into imagination. It has turned into creativity. They could illustrate their book, and now you've brought some art in. They're telling you the story. Now you've brought some language in. Do you see how it really does just kind of be, it's a jumping point to so many different areas of learning if you encourage and give permission to that sense of wonder. And then the other thing it has to do, if you want to develop wonder, you've got to give them the resources. You can't be so busy inside doing books and notebooks and workbooks that you don't get out and explore, because so much of wonder happens in nature, right? I mean, I just had a moment where I was moved by wonder myself. Just this week, it was a couple days ago. I was in South Carolina with my grandbabies, and we were reading a book that I had just bought for them. It was a book written by my friend Carrie Vossick. I've had her on the podcast. It's called Kisses from Space. Happened to show up on September 9th, read them the book Kisses from Space, and then I wake up September 10th to discover that Anna and her mission has taken off, and Anna is in space. And guess what happens next? Anna reads the book Kisses from Space from space. So we get to watch it with my grandchildren. And Anna's hair's up and it's everywhere. And she's reading to her own children from space. And I began to weep. My kids are like, Nana, why are you crying? And I'm like, I'm just so overwhelmed and in awe of Anna and Carrie, who had this dream to write a book about a mama dragon going to space and reading And then Anna's reading that very book from space. It was watching this dream come to fruition, watching this woman be further than any other woman has been in space. It was overwhelming, and I was in awe, and it was a moment of wonder. That's what we want for our kids. We want them to recognize these big moments, these little moments, these things in nature and in our world. It makes you connect with our world. I sure connected with her in space. Wonder does that. Wonder helps you feel you're a part of something. So you've got to give them the resources. You've got to be willing to go to the places where they might get to explore new things. Go to that park that you've been wanting to do. Take that nature trail that you've thought about doing. Maybe go a city over to a different area to explore. Maybe if you've got the resources, take a trip outside of your state, outside of your country, to introduce your children to things that will make them just be in awe. And then pay attention what they're amazed at. Because often what they're amazed at could lead to their passion, which could lead to their purpose. Going back to Anna, I remember Anna sharing how she went on a field trip and she was amazed at space and so in awe of that and knew that she would want to be an astronaut. Now, somebody could say, oh, that's so sweet because that's just what we do. You saw it, you were in the moment, it was cool. But someone paid attention to that. Someone encouraged her to pursue that passion, to pursue what she had that moment of wonder about. And now we get to see she's living that out. So don't discount what your kids take notice in. Don't discount what your kids find, interesting and what your kids find moments of wonder. Pay attention. If it repeats and repeats, think, I wonder if that's something God put in there for them, something that's been stirred up in them that's supposed to get them to their purpose. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite parts about parenting is noticing what my children are passionate about and how that's going to help them become who they were meant to be. Wonder. It cultivates curiosity, cultivates creativity. It invites imagination. And as I say, it calms the nervous system. We want to be intentional about wonder. You want to encourage wonder. Make sure it is something you make a priority this month and every month. Keep it going. Don't just stop when this character trait ends and when we move on to orderliness or what's next month. Keep the wonder moving. Keep the wonder going. And then, don't forget, find something for yourself. What inspires you? Where do you find wonder? Take that in and introduce that to your children because they might not even have thought about how wonderful something is or how inspiring something is until you point it out. So don't be afraid to introduce your moments of wonder to your children. I hope this is a great month. September's fun. Fall is here. Things are changing. Leaves are falling. Enjoy your month with your kids. Thanks for listening.